both.
Awesome.
Happy Thirsty Thursday, everyone. How is it going? Today, we're talking about wine bases.
Yeah.
We haven't really, I don't think we've done a live about wine bases. We generally talk about a kit, right?
I think we've only kind of mentioned it, maybe offhandedly, but certainly haven't focused on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't remember doing one. I don't know, we've done a few of these now. But you can get 10% off any of our Vintner's Best wine bases, and you can do that using the code BASE at checkout. BASE, 10% off. Someone says, yo, what's up? How is everyone today?
Cold.
Yeah, I know, Paula's was like in here just like... So, with the Vintner's Best wine bases, they make 5 gallons. Yes. So, they're 1 gallon less than the typical wine expert kit or RGL.
So, what's your gut feeling about a wine base?
To me, so I hadn't actually ever looked at the wine bases a lot till...
This does kind of force you to know a little bit more.
Yeah.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
And my biggest thing was, like, I liked the idea of in a kit, it had all the instructions and, like, all the things that were included, like, all the chemicals and things that were included. Mm-hmm. And I liked that idea. And to me, when I thought of a wine base, it was more, like, do-it-yourself kind of, like, style.
You are more responsible for having everything you need, where if you just do a kit, your only responsibility is to have the kit.
Right.
Okay, I can see
that. And so I was interested when I was looking at the packaging to see like what types of direction they would give you or what types of instruction. And we'll go over that. But also like if they gave you any instructions on what types of equipment you needed, all that. And I'm happy to say that I could look at the instructions on this and be pretty set up. The one thing I question is if I didn't have any prior experience, if I would be like, oh, hunky-dory, like, oh, okay, that makes sense. So I guess my hot take on wine bases is they would be a good thing to transition into once you had already made a kit and, like, knew the process a bit. But that's not to say that you couldn't start with them. It's just, like, going to take a little bit more research.
I completely agree.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Does that
absolutely.
make sense?
I think you do have to have a knowledge of... the whole brewing vocabulary. You know, you need to know what is a carboy, what is a bung, what is an autosiphon. You know, what does it mean to have use your your hydrometer, that kind of thing. But that's what Google could be for too.
Yeah. And I do just briefly want to mention, I don't know if I told you this actually, but one of our affiliates, Doing the Most, if you haven't checked out his YouTube channel, BC Phillips is his name, super cool guy, he's from Oklahoma, and he is actually, we're sponsoring a brand new series on his channel where he makes wine from fruit, like more country wines and things like that. And he's going to be putting one out every month, coming up here pretty soon. He said, like, in the near future, so I don't want to quote a date. Okay. But that would be a really good resource. His channel is a really good resource in general, but if you were interested in making wine from fruit or wine from wine bases, he's going to go over the whole process.
Yeah. Well, I will tell you, just looking, because I look at our numbers all day long, wine bases are wildly popular.
Yeah, and I can see why.
Because I think they're also more economical.
Right. Once you have, that's what I was going to say too, is like, so let's see, what are these? Like 128 ounces? So they're 128 ounces, but they make 5 gallons, and they cost $44.99.
I mean, that's
You're not going to find like a wine kit that's going to be $44.99.
And it's not going to be comparable.
Yeah.
So this isn't...
I'm trying to think, because even the...
Well, like your Island Mystery Orchard Breezing are still going to run you right around 70.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So
now kits are typically a 6-gallon kit, where the wine bases are 5-gallon, but who cares?
The thing is, too, though, is I've heard that some people make the... those kits to 5-gallon anyways, because they want them to be
bump up
sweeter.
the ABV, too.
And, yeah.
They do that.
So...
We don't recommend that.
Yeah.
Yeah. We recommend following the directions, but by all means, These are Mike has made these before. I know that, and I've talked to a lot of our brewers, and they really like them because you have control over what your flavor is.
Yeah, and there's so many flavors. I just want to say shout out Linari that says Happy New Year. How are you guys today? I'm good. Are you good?
I'm good.
I feel good, and I'm drinking my own 14% rye tea. I have a job interview tomorrow at a brewery.
Oh, good luck!
Yeah, good luck with your interview. That's awesome.
We're drinking Amarone. It's the Amarone that you may have seen us bottle.
Oh, my chair just went down. I must have pressed some button. I was like...
We bottled this, it has to be 3 or 4 months ago. And it's the RJS Amarone kit that we did the whole thing.
So good.
It's ridiculous. It's just, yeah. Courtney was like, do you want to do Amarone? I'm like, yes, I do. Yeah.
And when I was pouring it, so I usually am in charge of the pour, so I was like, okay, don't over.
I know I have to drive after this, for goodness sakes.
So I'm gonna say, I've got Amarone under the stairs. I'm waiting for next year. And this is, I feel like,
berries.
Yeah, I feel like this gets more, oaky the longer it
definitely
sits.
gets more sophisticated. Yeah. But it was good immediately, so that's crazy.
So good.
So are we going to show how it's packaged?
Yeah. So I just brought out a few because there's over 30
There are
flavors?
33 flavors to be exact.
Do you find it porty? I think is it? I don't know. I haven't had port. I don't think.
No, you know what's funny? I had we had our when the graphics were just put in last week. The wife of the guy who was installing it was here helping him, and she was a teacher in the district that my kids went to and that I taught in back in the day. And so when she's leaving, and I had this whole thing, I don't know, I swear I'm not Italian, but I'm married to one, and you cannot leave my house without me feeling I have to give you something or do something for you. So she was leaving, and I said, can I give you a bottle of wine? Do you drink wine? And she said, sure. And I said, okay, here, and I said, it's an Amarone. And she's like, I'm not familiar with an Amarone, which I'm not shocked about. It's not something that you see everywhere. And she said, what does it taste like? Okay, and I didn't think of it as porty at all. What I said was, if you like the boldness of like a Cabernet and the dryness of a Cabernet, but you like the fruit forwardness of a Pinot Noir, to me, it's like they got married.
Oh no, it's this wine.
Yeah.
Yeah. It reminds me of, so Paula sent me a TikTok yesterday.
I'm addicted.
I wish I could remember the person that did it, so apologies, but, it was okay, there's a million ways to say sommelier, like, I've heard a million, but it was
She's
lady
a sommelier.
that, yeah. So anyway, she was talking about how when people ask for tannins in their wine,
I want it so tannic. I want a tannin, and she was going on and on about how people order their wine.
Yeah, and then she was like, tannins basically just mean that if you want a lot of tannins, you want your mouth to feel like it's full of cotton balls.
Yeah.
And that's yeah.
But you know, we always use ballads, so I thought that was a funny.
Yeah,
TikTok
when she sent it to me, I just I literally sent her back, and you came back balanced. That's all I sent her back. So Inappropriate Brewery, love the name. It says, their Amarone is 1.5 years old, and maybe because it's older, it tastes a bit like port.
Okay.
So
it's definitely, as it's aged, it has changed.
Yeah, I think so.
But I think it's changed for the better. Yeah.
I'm drinking.
But we were never complaining from the beginning. So.
Yeah. Okay, so this is what the packaging looks like. For the Vintner's Best wine bases. If you're just joining in, you can get 10% off any of these Vintner's Best wine bases now through Sunday with the code BASE at checkout. And there's over 30 some odd flavors. 33 flavors.
Yeah.
Paula has printed them all out.
I have, but I did a little bit more because I can tell you that anytime I work the store, which by the way lately hasn't been a lot, but it seems like I always end up talking to people. We just stand there and talk. I'm probably supposed to be doing something else, but if I'm at the store, it's a social time for me. And we'll start talking about things, and people will inevitably say, have you ever done a wine base? Especially if they're kit people, okay? And they'll say, what's your thought on that? Because they're looking at this, and it doesn't look as sophisticated as a beautifully graphic box,
Yeah.
the whole thing. But they're great.
Yeah.
The other thing is I struggle sometimes with managing like that big bladder of juice because it is a little bit.
And the first time I tried to get the top off, I know we have a tool for it, but the first time, like, I can do a screw cap.
Exactly. So this is so much easier to manage all the way around, but you know, certainly it's not a private reserve.
No.
You know, so there it's a give and take. But I will tell you that they continue to come out with more flavors. I think there's only one flavor right now that we don't have in stock because it's on back order. So
Gotcha.
we have a lot of them. Courtney put the sale up a couple days ago, and they're flying. They're flying. So if something is down on the website and you still want to get it, you could call in and just tell them that you'd be willing to wait because we'll have it in a couple days. So let me go over the list of them.
Okay.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Are you guys ready?
These are all the flavors of our Vintner's Best wine bases.
In alphabetical order, no less.
Ooh, look at that.
Well, thank you for Excel. Oh, it's not.
I was like, I don't know what your alphabetical order is, but that's not what mine is.
Maybe I was drinking. Anyway,
she was
in no particular order.
She was a teacher.
All right, here we go. Black raspberry, passion fruit, sangria, apple. And that's not apple cider. It would just be apple wine.
This is apple fruit. Well, fruit.
They're off,
okay.
Apricot, black cherry, black currant, blackberry, blood orange, blueberry, and that might be the one. Is this blueberry?
Yeah,
That's
that's
blueberry, so that's not the one we're having trouble with. Chardonnay. Now that's one of the newer ones.
Yeah. So is that based on the Chardonnay?
It's just Chardonnay grapes.
Okay.
And it's just the fruit. So what they said when I read up on Vintner's Best is the quality in here is the same as you would get from a commercial, you know, in a commercial wine. It's just ready to go. It's already balanced.
Yeah. It says that. So just to interrupt the long list.
There's a list.
What's it called? Intermission. So each of these kits, it says that they're made up of juice concentrates, malic acid, high fructose corn syrup, and natural flavoring. They're blended and pasteurized, and I put that it makes 5 gallons, but you can also store them at room temperature.
Yes.
So that's
they want
nice.
you to.
And then it said something about diammonium phosphate is added as a yeast nutrient. Does that mean that they want you to add it as a yeast nutrient? Because I
have never seen it written on here to add it, so I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Although I was reading it on some of the other some of our competitor sites, and they were saying that a yeast nutrient isn't a bad idea to throw in there. But
I think that's maybe
that's
what
what they're
meant.
thinking.
Yeah.
Although I will tell you, we didn't throw in a yeast nutrient.
When you guys did it?
So it has
what kind did you make?
Diammonium phosphate already in here.
Oh, that's probably what they meant.
Yeah.
That's probably what they meant, that it's added as a, yeah.
Well, you know, Germany makes these all the time.
Oh, yeah, she loves making wine, huh?
Yeah. And Germany makes these. All right, so back at it.
At
Cherry. Concord grape, which I love they came out with that. Cranberry. Dandelion.
Which I have the dandelion. That's one of the newer ones as well.
Mm-hmm.
Now, okay, on dandelion wine.
Okay.
Let me just say, I would love to try dandelion wine. Anyone that makes dandelion wine, I think you're awesome. Mm-hmm. I am not by any means belittling the amount of time and energy that you put into making that dandelion wine.
You have the idea.
But the thought of literally picking... Like, what? No, just get this, dude. Just get this.
Yeah, so when the kids were little, Mike made them go out and pick the dandelions. And, of course, they had to find somewhere that hadn't been sprayed. And there were no pesticides. And the children have, like, these memories that they're funny now. But they really thought their dad was, like, trying to kill them.
Why?
Because they were out there picking the dandelions.
Like,
no matter how much they picked, it wasn't enough. And, yeah.
That's so funny.
But, you know, they're dramatic anyway.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Oh, that's funny. Okay.
All right, elderberry. I will say that I sell a ton of elderberry.
Yeah,
in our
elderberry
store.
wine is very popular with like with homebrewers in general, but also with these.
Yeah, I send cases of that over to the store. Hazy lemon, that's a new one too. Hazy lemon, which to me sounds really refreshing, but I love lemon.
I'm not
huge
so
lemon
into
fan.
lemon. I mean, I'll. It's just not my favorite.
Okay.
I'll say that.
Hemp.
Yeah, the CBD ones.
Yeah. So you're not going to find that on our website, but I do have it. I have it both in my store, and if you called into my customer service representatives, they will ship it to you. It's just not, we don't advertise it. We do have the hemp. Hibiscus.
That is gonna be good, and
I love hibiscus.
I do too, and our viewers that have been on here know that I grew up in Hawaii for a bit. Hibiscus, every time, like, I can still smell it, you know? And anytime I make, like, Jed will make hibiscus tea, or, I don't know, there's just certain, like, even a perfume, someone had a perfume the other day, and I was like, it takes me back.
Yes.
It takes me right back.
I feel that way about smelling lilacs. That was my childhood smell.
That's so cute, because that's exactly what Jed said, too. Is that he doesn't have a lot of memories of, like, him and his dad hanging out, like, because his dad worked 2 jobs. But, like, he said that he has this very vivid memory of, like, riding in the truck with his dad while there were lilacs out. Yeah. So that's so cute. Oh, what a coincidence.
Yes, lilacs.
That's cool.
Lambrusco. So I've had people ask me 1,000 times how to make Lambrusco. So there you go. Mango.
Wait, what is Lambrusco?
I honestly don't know. I always look it up every time.
I feel like it's probably a type of grape.
I think you're right.
But don't quote me.
Well, our viewers probably know. But it's not something I've ever had. But I can tell you that I've had a lot of people say, I want to make it. And I was like, if you give me a recipe, I can help you.
Yeah.
But now, here's a jug. Here's a jug. Mango Moscato. So there's another grape. Yeah. Niagara, yet another grape. Those are all newer ones. Peach, which, by the way, one of my very favorite flavors.
We agree on that.
Yes. Pear. Pineapple. I sell a lot of pineapple.
Yeah, pineapple wine. I feel like that's like once again, like a way to escape tropically, like that tropical vibes.
I'm ready to escape. Plum. Prosecco.
That's another one. Isn't that champagne?
It's sparkling.
Yeah. So, but that's not necessarily...
It doesn't come as sparkling. You'd have to do it yourself.
Yeah.
You'd have to force carbonate it or something. Raspberry. Rhubarb. Ironically, rhubarb does sell fairly well in this.
Rhubarb always reminds me of my grandma because she grew rhubarb plants in her backyard.
Did you ever just grab them and eat them?
I didn't because she told me, I think in an effort to tell me, like, to not do that, she told me that the leaves are actually poisonous. Which they are. She wasn't messing around, so I just didn't. Because I was like,
child,
But she make rhubarb pie all the time. And I remember as a kid, like, it took me a while to get to the point where I liked it. But yeah, rhubarb pie and rhubarb bars. I don't know if you've ever...
I don't know. We chewed on it fresh out of the garden.
It's very tart.
I'm Gen X. Nobody was telling us that we were going to die from poisonous things. They just were happy we were not in the house.
Look, you're still there.
We're Gen X. We're okay. Sauvignon Blanc. So you could make that, which is great. And strawberry. And then finally...
can I... Oh, well, I'll let you do the
watermelon.
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 I love watermelon.
Agreed.
So you said Sauvignon Blanc.
Yeah.
That makes me want to just note. So our limited edition kits. Very different from the wine bases that we're talking about. But I do just want to make a note. We have the... Let's see. We have the Pinot Noir Shiraz.
Which was the first release.
We still have it. So if you want it...
Yeah, we have some. We have a good amount.
If you want it, you got it. It's on our website. And then it's coming in... Or it came in yesterday, I think.
Today's our shipment. Came in today. Today's Thursday shipment.
It's going to be just a quick minute. Yeah. But coming up, Macabeo Sauvignon Blanc.
Ooh, it's Spanish.
Oh, just a sec. I think we are down on Insta.
It just says low battery.
Yeah, I think it was just mad because I have a low battery.
Okay.
I don't know how I have a low battery on my phone, yeah. So Pinot Noir Shiraz and Macabeo Sauvignon Blanc.
Yeah.
And the Sauvignon Blanc is gonna be here very soon. So, I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's here today. As soon as the truck gets here.
I want to talk about food pairings, but Paula's gonna, she's gonna go off on a tangent.
I do. Sorry. So when you do if you decide to do a wine base, they do recommend that you use the K1V V116 yeast, which is the Lavlin style yeast, and that's going to help you bring out any of the fruit flavors. But since all of these, for the most part, are either definitely a particular grape based or a fruit based, that K1V Lavlin is going to give you the best characteristics. So you do want to grab a pack of that to use. If you can't get your hands on a K1V, which we do have them in stock, you can use a Premier Blanc, which is a champagne yeast, but it's going to strip some of the flavor that you would have been able to maintain by using a K1V.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So I did want to mention that. And when you're done, I did the conversion on the bricks to see what the final ABV would be, and it would be about 10%. So it is...
so it's a little low?
It's a little bit low for wine, but you can get a 10% ABV on that for 5 gallons. And then all of them will finish dry. So you have the choice of then adding a wine conditioner.
And the wine conditioner comes in the same type of a bottle as this.
Yeah.
I think it's like $5 more on this, so it's like $49.99.
That's if you do a gallon of wine conditioner. You can even do a smaller wine conditioner than that.
Yeah.
It comes in a little pouch, and you can do that just prior to bottling. Which
yeah, that's true. That'd be a lot of wine.
That's a lot of wine.
But if you do it all the time, it could, yeah.
Yeah, we have it in the small pouch and we have it in the 1 gallon, but it's a great way to sweeten it to taste without refiring. You're not adding any more, sugars that are going to refire the yeast. Everything's already completely balanced to not do that.
And it said they said a good starting point is 2 ounces per gallon.
Yeah.
So you'd add 10 ounces of it.
Yeah. Stir it up, taste it. I always go a little bit shy because you can't take it back out.
Right.
But then any of these can be sweetened to taste by using that wine conditioner. And you'll be pretty happy with that.
Someone says, I'm going to bottle my Imperial Rye Black IPA 8% today. Nice.
Oh, wow. I would probably love it. I love my dark beers. So.
Yeah, you do.
Yes.
Well, cool. Yeah, I would be actually really interested to make a wine base. Maybe we should make a wine base. That'd be...
When I get back from vacation.
Yeah,
I'm not here next
on
week.
Vacation. Oh wait, so are we gonna have a live next week? Then?
That's your call because you're on your own. I'm gonna be on the ocean, on the beach.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know do you guys want me to pop on next week? What should I talk about? I feel like no, my mouth isn't. I felt like my mouth was purple from this for a sec. Is it?
A little bit. I mean,
no.
I think no. You're not like. So my sister gets super grapey.
Really?
Yeah, it's funny. We make fun of her.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I'll pop on next week. We'll see how everything's going.
Well, by then you could actually show the new Ellie, unless you want to wait for me for the new Ellie. That's your call.
I am tempted to wait for you just because I know how much you love talking about the food.
I love talking about the food.
Before we go, I did just want to mention too, this is another one of Paula's favorites. Mm-hmm. We should have a section on our website called Paula's Favorites. The Winemaker's Recipe Handbook. So the wine-based kits are, as I said, like a bit more do-it-yourself. Mm-hmm. If you really want to go do-it-yourself and just make wine from fruit, there's a lot of really good recipes in here. And they're really detailed. They give you everything that you need to know. And there's 100 different recipes. This last one is tomato wine.
Yeah. Well, the dandelion wine we made came out of there. When we make mead, that's that recipe. When we make strawberry wine, it's that recipe. It comes out of this recipe book.
That's a lot of stuff.
So anything that we have done, and we used to do all kinds of wine from fruit. Mike likes to do that. Every one of them have come out of this recipe book, and it's inexpensive, but they're 1 gallon recipes.
It's $4.99. Yeah. For 100 recipes, and they're detailed. They're exactly what.
But I love that they're 1 gallon recipes because then you don't have to be married to it. Make 1 gallon, see if you like it. Then you can multiply the ratios multiply it out and then make a larger batch. But
Yeah.
also, fruit's expensive. So unless you own the orchard, which is funny because sometimes I'll say that to somebody in the store. Well, if you own the orchard, and they're like, I do.
And you're like, yeah.
Good for you.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just saw something that intrigues me.
What was it?
Onion wine. It says, don't tell your friends what it is until they have tried some. It's a surprising wine that works for marinating meats or whatever. Okay, but here's the thing. I don't want my wine to marinate my meat. Well, maybe.
I use wine all the time in cooking.
Yeah, that's crazy though. Onion wine. It said mountain ash too.
I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't try it because I would, but
$4.99 for this book. I really.
It's an adventure. That would be a hilarious. It would be. That would be a really fun. Like if somebody did like TikToks or did some kind of social media where they did one different recipe every week, you'd have 100 weeks. You have 2 years almost worth of recipes to do.
Yeah, well, I mean that's kind of what.
Did I just see coffee? Yes, coffee wine.
Ooh.
There you go.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Carrot wine too. There's some interesting ones in here. That's crazy. Yeah, I love it. Jelly and jam wine. Lots of cool stuff. Okay. But yeah, so that's Wine Bases, and for anyone that may have missed it, you can get 10% off all of our Vintner's Best Wine Bases with code BASE at checkout now through this Sunday. And thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next Thursday. Well, I'll see you next Thursday. I'll probably hop on.
I bet
just
you
say
do.
hi. Why not?
I don't know why you wouldn't.